So today we're going to be going tubeless for the first time. Okay, so to start off, these are E13 wheels and E13 tires. The wheels are tubeless ready, so they have tape, but they don't have tubeless valve stems. And we need to take the tube out and put in sealant and fill the tire back up with air and see how things go. Now, I've already done the rear tire just to see how it works. That way I didn't want to make this video a nightmare for you guys. But I'm going to show you guys really what kind of tools you need and everything else you need to get the job done. And it's actually surprisingly not that hard. I was a little bit worried. I had been avoiding it since I purchased the bike, but turned out to be pretty easy, so let's start. Okay guys, so a few things you're going to need is you're going to need valve stems. These are 44mm Presta valves by Stan's, and then also I went ahead and got Stan's no tube tire sealant. I got 2 of these, one for each tire. It's a white color. They're pretty cheap. I think these were like $3.99 or $4.99 or something, and the valve stems were I think like 16 bucks. All in all, I think I paid like $25. That's including tax. Other than that, what else are you gonna need? You're gonna need some tools like this. I've got a variety of these. These are called door panel puller, tools, whatever. You can get these at Walmart now. You can get these at Harbor Freight. You can get these off Amazon. These are just like for pulling off like interior panels of like doors on cars or interior trim. You can just Google interior panel remover, interior trim removal tool, and you get a whole variety of these. So the first thing we're going to do is take the air out of the tire. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to start trying to pry the tire off the bead. Once we do that, we can try to pull one side out with the removal tool that we have. So I'm just going to start going like this and taking it off. This part I actually don't do on this. Okay guys, sorry, due to some technical difficulties, for some reason my audio recorder stopped working. So I'm going to do some voiceover now for you guys to explain to you what's going on. So as I mentioned before, you're trying to pull the tire off the bead, you're trying to separate it. This part is, I would say, probably the most difficult part of the whole process. It's kind of a pain in the ass, especially if you're doing it for the first time. As you can see, this tire, the sidewall is completely almost like stuck to the lip of the wheel, and it took a lot of prying and a really long time to be able to completely pry off the tire to the point to where you could get a tool in there to start taking the tire off the wheel. So at this point I'm just setting the wheel and tire back up. I finally was able to separate the tire from the lip of the wheel, and I'm able to try to pry over the tire over the lip of the wheel little by little, and start the process of actually trying to pull out one whole side of the tire from the wheel. And also it really helps to be able to use two tools at once. Definitely try to use both of your hands while you're doing this. This is one example of how the hanger really helps you out. and now we got one complete side of the tire off. Now, as I said, you'd have to do the same thing again if you were completely replacing the tire, but I'm not. At this point, I'm just pushing the valve stem in that's on the tube, and you're able to pull the tube out. Okay guys, so here's my new valve. I'm just unscrewing that small washer. It's more like a nut washer that you place on the outside of the wheel once you put the valve stem in through the inside. If your wheels don't come tubeless ready, you'll want to get tubeless tape. I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there on how to put tape on a wheel for a tubeless setup, and then you puncture the area where the valve stem is going to go through. Mine, like I said, was already taken care of for me, so I'm just pushing the valve stem through, and that little washer nut is going to go back through, and I'm going to thread it back on and tighten it as much as I can without over tightening it and breaking the valve or cracking the carbon on the wheel. But you want to get as firm as you can, that way you don't get the valve stem moving or get air leaking through there. Okay guys, so at this point we are ready to put sealant into the tire. What I like to do when I set up the tire and wheel is have my valve stem facing all the way north, all the way at the top of the rim, and the opposite side is where I'm going to leave open to put my sealant in. And at that point then we're going to start to pry the tire back into the lip of the wheel. So at this point we're ready to put back in the rest of the tire that was left open for us to be able to put the sealant back in. And then at that point we're going to be ready to start to fill the tire up with air. But as you can see here, I'm just using the same tool like almost every 2 inches, pulling the tire over the wheel and pushing it back in. And it's pretty easy once you got everything sorted out. So at this point guys, I'm showing you this is a Presta valve adapter, and what you're going to do is you're going to order this on Amazon or go buy it at your local bike shop. This is an adapter you put onto the Presta valve to be able to put air in it. As you can see, my air supply is now connected to it, and at this point you're just filling air into the tire up to around 30-35 psi. You should hear one loud big pop or multiple pops, and that's what's going to let you know that your bead is fully seated and that you're good to go. At this point you see me, I'm checking it to make sure that it is seated, and you're going to see me roll around the wheel to see if there's any leaks or anything like that. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe or give me a thumbs up if you're interested in more videos and seeing my channel grow. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to drop them in the comments. Other than that, thank you so much.